Okay, good afternoon, everyone. So just give me 1 second. There was one typo in the slides. Let me just fix that and we can get going. Actually, never mind. Okay. All right, good afternoon, everyone. So I hope you all are doing okay. My name is Vic. I'm the assistant head in the department for teaching, undergraduate teaching. And with me today, we have Mabel and we have Prof. Lim. Mabel is my colleague from the department and Prof. Lim is from the deanery. So you may have seen him in the morning if you attended one of the sessions. So our goal here today is to talk about what you need to do to get started as a DSA major. Okay, or DSA or stats major. So we're going to go through a bit about your study plan, a bit about what you can do with the DSA or ST degree, just a little bit at the beginning, but mostly about what you need to do in the immediate steps to get started on your journey to become a DSA major. All right, let me share my screen.
This doesn't block a lot of sound.
Okay, so if you want to follow along the slides, this link is incorrect. Let me just share with you the correct link. I put it in the chat. So that's the link for you to follow along in the slides. If you would like to ask or post any questions, you can use the QR code here, or just remember polev.com/VIKGOPAR, big profile. All right, we'll take a look at the questions as we go along, but we'll try to save our answers for them until the end. All right. Okay, so first of all, I guess most of you are considering becoming a DSA or stats major. So thank you very much for considering us. Let's just talk a little bit about why you may want to choose DSA or ST. Right? You may have probably already made the decision. If you are still thinking about it, perhaps here are some reasons. The basic reason is that we are still finding that people who are well-versed in dealing with data, manipulating data, finding insights from data, they are very much in demand. Okay, and what we've seen is that our students, they go for internships in many different disciplines, they find jobs in many different disciplines. We have a slide, a couple of slides down that we tell you about some of the companies that they end up working with, but they are very diverse sectors. One of the primary advantages of becoming a statistician or a data scientist is that you get to work in many different domains. And that's even more applicable today, considering how frequently people change jobs, right? Within the next 2 to 3 years, you can go from one domain to another and so on. So these are some of the domains that our students can work in, but never mind. Let's hear what some of our students have to say. Okay, let's take a couple of minutes to watch these. Okay, hold on, I need to share my sound.
Data Science and Analytics. #DSA.
Data is exploding everywhere. And every time we post, share, shop, scan in, we're adding more.
There's a lot of value to unlock from big data. We just don't have enough data scientists to make sense of it all.
Making sense of big data could mean a company stumbling on a new product, researchers finding a cure for disease, or an answer to sustainable living.
Our idea to upcycle waste rice into alcohol is funded by NUS. I have collected and analyzed the data to test consumer interest, and now we are good to go into pilot production. Cheers!
As a DSA major, you will study these core modules and dive deep into statistical methodology or operational research.
These are the building blocks driving AI, robotics, Internet of Things, technologies that will transform how we live
and work.
During my internship, I forecast indoor building temperatures by modeling variables such as weather and occupancy. Because of data, we found a solution that was good for the budget and the environment.
So back to where we started.
We need data scientists to take companies to the next level or to lead Singapore's Smart Nation initiative, if that's where you're heading.
Start here.
All right, so that was Sanraj. Remind me to tell you about him a little bit later. He is also very active in the stats and data science community. So this is a stats major.
Statistics major. #statistics.
Statistics, the science of how data is collected, analyzed, and interpreted.
You will be able to spot trends in numbers, make sense of weather patterns, predict election results, understand how a virus spreads.
Or you could be assessing million-dollar deals.
The point is, a stats major has lots of career options.
My course allows me to explore different fields like quantum computing. This could take statistical tools like machine learning to the next level. This is where the future of quantum computing is being shaped.
A statistics major will do modules ranging from theoretical to applied, and you decide
Where you want to specialize in data science or finance and business statistics.
question.
Why is there a pig and chicken pox in Asia in February? We study historical data for the insights. This will enable healthcare professionals to develop better intervention strategies.
So if you're interested in interpreting numbers, this is your major.
We start with numbers and we look for the big picture.
If you like how that sounds, hit us up here.
All right, so that's a little bit about the two majors. So let's go a little bit more into where they end up working, right? So the point of these two word clouds is that students from these two majors work in a diverse set of companies: banking, finance, biotech, Grab. A lot of them go to Grab, e-commerce, Lazada, Shopee, and so on. All right. Okay. So assuming you've already decided to sign up as a DSA or ST major, let's talk a little bit about our department. Our department is in the Faculty of Science. Our main office is in S16. I have a map to the building and our location of our office right at the end. We have about 40 full-time faculty members. They are all internationally very established in methodological research. A lot of them do applied research as well. Our teaching, we have a set of teaching track faculty. They're all very dedicated. So working with our faculty will allow you to deepen your understanding and expertise in data science and statistics. Like in the morning, if you attended Prof. Chu's talk, right? He talked about one of the things you can do is take Europe's. Europe's is undergraduate research opportunities in science. And if you take that module, you get a chance to work with some of our faculty to do some theoretical derivations or research. This can be very useful because a lot of our students do go into postgraduate. Having some sort of this research experience can be useful for them. And it also fulfills your graduation requirement. Not your major requirement, but your graduation requirement. Okay. Okay, so let's go into our curriculum details and where you should get the information that you need. Okay, so what you should do is you go to our department website, go to degree programs, undergraduate programs, current students. So this page will contain the study plan, information about what modules you need to take in what order. If you're taking a second major or a minor in one of these two fields, you also have the information you need here. Okay, so depending on when you matriculated, you click on the particular link and it will take you to a PDF that contains the curriculum. All right, we'll go into a bit more detail about this in the next few slides, but this is probably something you should download and keep, right? So the DSA program is offered jointly with the Department of Mathematics. ST program is offered by our department on its own. Although when you do an ST major, you do have to take modules, mathematical modules, basically linear algebra and calculus. The DSA program is offered jointly with the Department of Maths and in conjunction with the School of Computing. Because if you look at the programs, you probably know by now the difference between DSA and ST majors. In DSA, you have to take a lot more computing modules. You're required to take the computing modules. All right. So in today's morning's talk, Prof. Ng Kalun and Prof. Chu, they talked a lot about your DSA, your gateway courses. Every major will have its gateway courses. And if you're taking a DSA major, your gateway course is DSA 1101. If you're taking an ST major, your gateway course for the major is ST1131. Okay, these courses need to be pre-allocated to you. If you're an ST major, you're planning to be an ST major, ST1131 will be pre-allocated to you in Sem 1 of your first year. If you're planning to be a DSA major or you're declaring yourself to be a DSA major, you will read it in either Sem 1 or Sem 2. Okay, you will be divided into two groups, and one group will read it in Sem 1 and one group will read in Sem 2. Okay, I'll talk a little bit more about this as we go on. Okay, so this gateway course has to be pre-allocated to you according to your declared primary major. So if you would like to be pre-allocated with the gateway course, you have to declare your major via the academic plan declaration by 17th July. Okay, you would have received this email that Prof. Chu and Prof. Ng also talked about. So it's already highlighted. To facilitate the pre-allocation of CHS courses, please complete your academic plan declaration by 17th July, 12 p.m. It is not optional. You have to declare this so that you get your gateway. Okay, if you don't declare this, we can't help you get the gateway. We may be able to help you get the gateway if something opens up, but there is absolutely no guarantee. And that can have a snowball effect and have repercussions on delaying your graduation and so on. So if you're planning to do DSA or ST, make sure you declare it by this date so that you can get the pre-allocated course. All right? I have to stress this. Okay, so make sure you keep to this deadline so that you get the pre-allocation. Okay, so let's talk a little bit. When you go to this website with all the program structures and all that, you're going to get a PDF document that shows you, in general, what are the requirements that you need to do for each particular level, 1,000 classes. For instance, this is the primary major in statistics document, the document for primary majors in statistics. At level 1,000, you have to pass the gateway class. Then at level 2,000, you have to pass these 6 courses, 3 ST classes and 3 MA classes. And then from 3rd and 4th year onwards, you have more choice of what courses you need to take. Okay. In each of these documents, when you scroll down for the primary majors documents, you will have a study plan that looks like this. So let's talk a little bit about this. If you're doing the ST major declaration, there are a couple of small changes I need to highlight. So overall, the plan looks the same. Okay, there's not much changes, but in the ST major, there's a small change, and the DSA major, just a change in the number of, or in the way that things are paired up. Okay. So how do you read the study plan? All right, so how you read it is that. Okay, so you have year 1. This is what you're focusing on, right? You all are entering year 1 in academic year 24-25. So in Sem 1, you would be taking these 5 courses. Remember that Sem 1, each semester, you take an average of about 5 courses, right? So the courses you take, the blue boxes like this, these are your CHS courses. So if you count them, you have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. There are 12 CHS courses in blue here, plus this one for ST majors. So these will form your CHS core classes, the 13 courses that add up to your 52 units. The ST1131 counts for your data literacy requirement. Okay, now if you look at the PDF document that's on the website, it will look slightly different here. Okay, there is a typo there. This is the correct version. This is what you should be doing. Your design thinking will be randomly allocated to you in either Sem 1 or Sem 2. In the other Sem, make sure you go and register for CS 1010S to fulfill your digital literacy pillar. Okay, taking CS 1010S will give you a good foundation and allow you to take other classes like 2137 more easily. If you want, you can take other coding classes as well. It will help you with that background. Okay, and as an ST major, you're not required to do a lot of computing courses, but if you do take some, it will help you in terms of internships, in terms of analyzing data with software packages and so on. Okay, so we encourage you to take this course to fulfill your digital literacy requirement. Okay. The courses in green, these are your major requirements. Okay, MA 2002 will be pre-allocated to you so that you can take 2131 in your second semester. Okay. So for the rest of the ST courses, it's usually, if you follow this study plan, you should be okay. The more complicated study plan is the DSA one. So let me go into that a little bit of detail. Okay, what will be pre-allocated, what will not, and so on. Okay, so I mentioned there were some changes, right? If you look at okay, so now if you look at the DSA document study plan, there is going to be a slight change in terms of the pairings, in terms of CS 1010 and MA 2001 and so on. How do you check for the most latest information? When you go to the program structure, there will be a, let's say you look for the first major in DSA. There will be this study plan right at the end. For the latest study plan, in terms of pre-allocation, there's a link at the bottom of the PDF document. If you look inside here, it will take you to this page. This page will contain information on what's going to be pre-allocated to you in your first year, which is relevant to you guys. So you scroll down, you go to overview of pre-allocation of CHS common curriculum courses, and this will give you an indication of what you're going to get pre-allocated. So for data science and analytics, you see circles according to these columns. Now so this big column, a big set of 5, 6, 7, 8 columns is semester 1 and semester 2. For DSA, the first 4 columns correspond to your integrated curriculum. If you remember from CHS curriculum, right, you will have this kind of a breakdown in terms of your core courses. Okay, so you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 integrated courses and 2 interdisciplinary courses. The interdisciplinary courses in your study plan, you'll be taking them in year 3. Okay, so you're highly recommended to do those in year 3. The other 4 integrated core curriculum are these 4. And then the remaining 6 blue ones, those are your core classes. Okay, CHS core. Okay. So these 4 are going to be, out of these 4, 2 will be randomly chosen and allocated to you in SEM 1, and then the remaining 2 will be allocated to you in SEM 2. Okay. There's a special note for DSA students. DSA primary major students with odd matriculation number will be pre-allocated 2001 and 1010S in SEM 1, and DSA 1101, your gateway, and design thinking in SEM 2. So it's just a pairing that has changed from the study plan that we have. We'll update the study plans by the end of this week so that when CourseRack opens on 22nd July, you'll know what's been allocated to you and you can go and choose the other courses. Okay, and also in addition, all DSA students will be pre-allocated MA 2002 in year 1 SEM 1. Okay, so we go back to this program structure. Okay, so this MA 2002 will be allocated to SEM 1 so that you can take ST 2131 in SEM 2. But this pairing has been changed. So instead, MA 2001 is linked to digital literacy, and DSA 1101 and design thinking will form a pair. Okay, so those of you who get CS 1010 and MA 201 in SEM 1, you will get design thinking and DSA 111 in SEM 2, and vice versa. Okay, so it's just that these pairings have been slightly changed. We'll update the study plan so that you get the latest information. Okay, year 2 and year 3 courses, a little bit more pre-allocation is done. In particular, 2101 and 2102, you'll be pre-allocated these in your year 2. So it'll be split into 2, and half of you will take 2101 in SEM 1, and the other half take 2102 in SEM 1. And then you switch around in SEM 2. 3101 and 3102 will also be pre-allocated to you in your year 3. Okay, these are random. Okay, these are the typical pre-allocations done. The CS classes that you take, these you go through the usual CourseRack to decide when to do. Okay, so but as far as you can, our advice to you is to follow the study plan. Because if you don't follow the study plan, there will be a knock-on effect. You may not be able to graduate on time. Okay. All right, so follow the sample study plan for the major requirements. If you need to deviate, your graduation may be delayed, so please plan carefully. The things that a lot of DSA and ST students do, also they try to go on internship and they try to go on SEP. So try to plan carefully because mapping the courses may be tough for some DSA and ST courses. Okay, gateway courses help DSA 1101, ST 1131. We teach them. We will have student helpers. These are senior students who have done well in the gateway courses. They'll be there to help you get acquainted, get accustomed to how university works. They may have advice for you on how to deal with certain courses, what to choose, and in particular with coding. So if you've never done coding before, you feel a bit afraid about what needs to be, how you need to study or how you can improve, please approach these tutors. You can arrange to meet them in person, virtually for academic help. When you enter these courses, the lecturers will tell you more about these, right? Okay, study advice, attend class in person. From my personal experience, most of our lecturers will record the lectures. A lot of students will say or tell themselves that they will do something else during the lecture and then catch up closer to the exam, but it usually doesn't happen. So my advice to you, try to follow the lectures week at a time, practice as much as you can, don't skip classes. During lectures and tutorials, ask as many questions of your tutors and instructors, and that's how you can learn the best in this course. Yes, just now, one of the students I showed you in the video, Sanraj, the guy in the DSA major, he used to be the chairperson of the NUS Stats and Data Science Society. They do a lot of work to help our students come up in stats and data science. They run hackathons, they run help sessions, they organize get-togethers and so on. So please sign up for the Stats and Data Science Society, participate in the activities. It is a good place for you to connect with like-minded people. The current chairperson, I think, is Rachel. And she's also a DSA major. Okay, so that's all I have to say. If you have any questions, you can scan the QR code or go to this link, and we can try to address some of the questions. Okay, so one of the questions is, what exactly is pre-allocation? Does it simply mean that we get priority for the module during the bidding process, or it is a must to take modules during its pre-allocated semester? Okay, so pre-allocation means that before course reg is the exercise, like today morning they talked about, it's where you choose your classes, right? You choose and you bid for them, and then you'll be allocated the courses at the end, and then you start taking them, right? Pre-allocation means before you enter the course registration exercise, those courses already appear under your name. So they're already there for you. You can't remove them. You have to take them. That's what it means to pre-allocate. The courses you have to register for, could you walk us over the courses you have to register for in course reg in our first semester? Okay, so it depends on your major. Okay, so if you're an ST major, what's going to happen is, like we saw just now in the document, right? It tells you about the pre-allocation. So these will be pre-allocated to you. So what will happen is that there are four, these are the integrated curriculum courses under CHS. There are four of them. So out of these four, two will be randomly allocated to you in SEM 1. And then for SEM 2, the other two will be randomly allocated to you. Then if you're an ST major, design thinking, you'll be randomly split into either SEM 1 or SEM 2. I'm getting this information from here. Okay, so try to ignore the annotation that I have. So it says ST majors. These four are those four IC classes that I showed you at the top left. This is the design thinking course 1, 2, 3, 4. The fact that there's a circle here says the course will be randomly pre-allocated over the semesters indicated. So if you're an ST major, this design course will be either given to you in SEM 1 or SEM 2. Okay. Now for the other courses, for the four integrated courses, HSA, HSH, HSN, students will be pre-allocated with any two out of the four courses per semester. For DTK 1, 2, 3, 4, either one of the courses will be pre-allocated. So for ST, what you have to choose when you go into course reg is, if you've been given design thinking for SEM 2, choose CS 1010S for SEM 1. 1131 will be pre-allocated to you. and 2002 will be pre-allocated to you. So pretty much you don't have to do much for SEM 1, if I understand. Yeah. So you will know, once it comes to course reg, you see what's inside your module. If you already have 5, you can't overload in SEM 1, right? Year 1, SEM 1. So that's it. Yeah. Oh yeah. So actually the CS1010S will not be pre-allocated to you. So you should go in and choose that. Okay. So for DSA, again, the top 4 out of these 4 HS courses, 2 will be pre-allocated to you in SEM 1. So those 2 will appear. Then 2001 or CS1010S will be allocated to you. And then DSA 111 or design thinking will be allocated to you. Then MA 2002 will be pre-allocated to you. So when you go in, you should probably see 5 courses already allocated to you. Right? Okay, so in order to get to that, the important thing is by 17 July, 12 p.m., declare your major. Okay. All right. So could you elaborate more on the specializations for DSA major? Okay, so this one, if you go and look inside the PDF documents for DSA major, you can learn more about the specializations. Okay, so you can specialize in either operations research or statistical methodology. The list of courses that you need to take for either one of them is here. I think it's a bit far away for us to go into right now. If you have specific questions, you could drop us an email and we can talk about it. Could you walk us over the recommended study plan has all the UEs after year 2 ends. If I were interested in pursuing a second major, would it be possible to spread out the DSA curriculum and start my second major from year 1, year 2, as I cannot declare it after? But you can declare it after. You can declare until your 5th semester, right? You can change every time a semester begins. During the semester, you cannot change, but you can declare at the beginning, and the last time you can make a declaration is before your 5th semester begins. So you can. So if you're planning to take a second major, and if it is related, perhaps some of the courses fulfilling your major requirements may fulfill some of the courses for your second major. So you can start planning, because it doesn't mean that you only have to start from scratch at the end of your second year for your second major. For poly graduates, we have to take MA 1301. If that's the case, how is the pre-allocation like for poly students? So this one, I'm not so sure. Yongwei, do you know?
Yeah, perhaps I can take this question. Yeah. So for students who do not have H2 mathematics or its equivalent, we will not be able to allocate to you courses that require H2 mathematics as its prerequisites. And so in this plan here, that will include courses such as MA 2001, DSA 1101, as well as MA 2002. Okay, so what you have to do is to adjust your study plan accordingly. Okay, so and fill up the courses that cannot be pre-allocated to you in the first semester. Yeah. So that's the case of students who need to do the bridging course MA 1301 before they fulfill the equivalence of H2 mathematics.
All right. Okay. Does it mean that digital literacy and data literacy pillars are completed for DSA students by completing CS1010 and DSA 1101? Yes, that's correct. CS1010 counts towards digital literacy. DSA 1101 counts towards your data literacy. Yes. The AI pillar, you have to select separately. And that's why it's in a study plan, year 2, SEM 2, you take it. So I think we are sorry we couldn't get to all the questions, but some of the questions were answered today morning. Can we take a double degree between DSA and CS? You have to apply for it. So you have to, there is a website that was given in the morning. If you have the slides from the morning, you can follow that.
Yeah. I think there are no more talks after this, at least not in terms of,
Okay.
yeah. So I think we can maybe go on a little more and answer some of the other questions as well. Yeah.
Okay, so if we take ST 1131, why do we need to take CS 1010S for digital literacy? So ST 1131 fulfills your data literacy requirement for ST measures, but you still need to take CS 1010S for digital literacy. Okay. Let me share that poll everywhere so that we can all see the questions.
Yeah, so while Vic is doing that, there was a question I think that says, can students take CS 1010E instead of CS 1010F? And the question is no. CS 1010E is ring-fenced only to students from CDE and will not be available to students who are outside the College of Design and Engineering. So for the Faculty of Science or CHS, the CS 1010 variant is CS 1010F.
Will this recorded video be posted somewhere? So Mabel, I'm not sure. Will this be shared with them?
Yes, so this is being recorded. Those that are interested to get the recording, you can email me. I will post my email in the chat box. Thank you.
Okay, so I think Prof. Lim addressed this one just now.
I think there was a question earlier that I glanced through, the questions about students who may want to read statistics or data analytics as a second major. Students who are reading statistics or data analytics as a second major will not be pre-allocated a gateway course. You will have to register for the courses through CourseRec.
Main difference between stats and DSA. So if you look at the study plans and the requirements, right? Basically, DSA has a required computing courses. In stats majors, so it's not as many required, actually almost none. There's one ST2137 that is statistical computing. And then for your digital literacy, you take CS 1010S. After that, you can get away without taking any coding classes, which I don't recommend. Because when you go out and work in internships and in the job, we've seen that a lot of students need this. So where you can, try to take more coding classes. Stats has a specialization, right, in data science or business analytics. So in those, you can take more coding classes. So recommended for life science students, DSA as a second major. Sure, I think there are a lot of DSA applications in life sciences and biological sciences. I mean, it depends on your interest, which particular aspects of the life sciences you want to delve into. So it really depends on your interest.
Okay, I think there was a follow-up question about something more specific to students who need to do the bridging course MA1301. So I think for students who need to do the bridging course, what the department will attempt to do is to actually pre-allocate you DSA 1101 and MA 2002 in semester 2. Okay, and so what that means is that you may have to push back some of the courses by a semester. Okay, which I believe is doable. We have had students in the first 3 cohorts, okay, who have to take the bridging course, and by and large, they have managed to catch up and are progressing through the program at a reasonable pace. And there was a question about midstream admissions to DSE. I will put the resources, okay, the URL in the chat, okay, and students who are interested in perhaps entertaining the possibility of midstream admission to DSE can refer to that for information.
What other courses do I need to take besides these 5? Do you mean as a DSA major in Sem 1? So if that's what you mean, then no. I mean, if you follow the study plan, these are the 5 courses that you take, and that would set you on the road to becoming a DSA major. Yes, that's right. So if you need to take MA 130, you won't be pre-allocated MA 2002. You'll be allocated MA 130 in Sem 1, so that you can go on to take MA 2002 after that.
Students who need to take MA 130 have to register for MA 1301.
Okay.
Because we wouldn't know who these people are. Yeah.
Right. Okay. Does it mean the students with odd matriculation number will be allocated MA 2001, CS 1010S, and MA 2002? Let's see. DSA primary major student ID ending with odd digit will be pre-allocated MA 201. Those with ending with even digit will be pre-allocated DSA 1101 and DTK in Sem 1. So no. So if you follow what it says here, right? If you have an odd, odd 2, yes, correct. 201 and CS 1010S in Sem 1. Yes, correct. Yes, that sounds right. If you're odd, you'll get CS 1010 in Sem 1. If you're even, you'll get CS 1010 in Sem 2. Right, so this one, I'm going to leave you to go to the website again. This one, the general academic programs, and then you can get the information from there. Okay, so we talked about this as well. CS 2040 to year 1 Sem 2 instead of year 2 Sem 2. You have to complete CS 1010S is a requirement for this. You will end up 2040. Year 2 Sem 2 is possible, right? Year 1 Sem 2. If you've got CS 1010 in Sem 1 in year 1, then if you try to take it in Sem 2, let's see what you may need to push. It looks like your basket is full for Sem 2. Right? So I wouldn't recommend that. Yeah. Planning to take on DSA as a second major, will I still be pre-allocated? No, second major, you won't get pre-allocated. Yeah.
Okay, there is a question, I think, about students in residential colleges.
Yes.
And this pertains specifically to the DSA major because all 5 courses are pre-allocated in Sem 1, and your limits for Sem 1 is only 23 units. Students who are in a residential college and reading the DSA major may appeal to the Science Dean's office to offload one integrated course. Okay, so you need to seek permission from the Dean's office to actually drop one integrated course. Okay, that could either be humanities or Asian studies or scientific inquiry 1, or what's the last one? Social studies, I think. So do take note of that, okay, so that you are able to read the one course that you're required to read in Sem 1 at your residential college. So that's for students who are in a residential college. Students who, I mean, there were also questions, relating to the UEs being packed towards the end, I think particularly after year 2, right, if I'm not mistaken. So the study plan that we have put in place here essentially, of course, takes a typical student who probably wants to complete the major on its own, okay? Students who want to perhaps add on a second major or a minor will have to make suitable adjustments to the study plan, okay? What the study plan indicates for you, particularly in the major, will be the order in which the courses ought to be taken, because there are prerequisite considerations. So if you make a conscious effort to bring some courses in your second major or minor forward, okay, utilizing your UE space. You have to be conscious that this means that either you have to overload or you have to push some of the courses that are in green for the major towards later parts of your years of study. Okay, so that's something you need to think about carefully, okay, and then make a conscious decision.
Yeah, it may be good, like, so if you join the STAT society, right, it may be good to talk to your seniors about this. They will have good advice.
And then there's also a question about whether a student can take COS 1000 or COS 2000 in place of CS 1010S, and that depends on whether you are from the DSA major or the STAT major. For the DSA major, it's not negotiable. CS 1010S is required because it's a prerequisite of CS 2040. For the STAT major, students are highly encouraged, okay, to do CS 1010S, okay, because it sort of instills in the STAT majors essential skills in programming, okay, and I believe at least one higher level ST elective course requires CS 1010S as a co-requisite. So if you don't use CS 1010S to fulfill the digital literacy requirements, you are disadvantaging yourself as a STAT major from certain elective, major elective courses at higher level.
What is
I think the question's relating to ComBio as well.
Right.
There is a minor in computational biology offered by the my colleagues in the Department of Biological Sciences. Okay, so that's a possibility for students who are interested in, say, genomics. Okay, to consider reading a minor in computational biology.
So wait, before we go any further, so I just want to tell you, if you need to contact us, if you're about to leave the Zoom session, if you need to contact us, you can look for us. So we are located at Faculty of Science S16 level 7. Once you come out of the lift, you just turn to your right, the office is there. This is an important email address you should take note of. Ask dsdsug@nus.edu/. If you have questions about the study plan, modifications you want to make, whether what you've done fulfills the major requirements, etc., and so on, you can email this address, right? And there'll be address, okay? If it is appeals to take a class, like what they said in the morning, don't approach the instructors, don't approach through email, through this email. All those appeals should be done through EduRec. Course, right? And that will come to us and then we can take a look. Right? So this is for information, checking about requirements, study plan, and so on. Appeals for courses and so on, don't send to this address. Okay, send it through the course right. Okay. Any other important questions we should address? I confirm major declaration begins on 15th July. Is that what the email says? Yes, 15th July, 9 a.m. That's when it begins, but you have to declare your academic plan by 17th July, 12 p.m. Right? All right, so I think we can, shall we close the session? If you have further questions, you can get in touch with us through the email address that I put down. All right. Okay, thank you all for coming. Once again, welcome to the department. Thanks, Mabel and Kyung Wee. Thank you very much. See you guys around the department. Bye-bye.